back of the back. Slot right. Branch inside. Bradshaw, Stabler back. Here comes the left. He sidesteps. Can he throw? He can't. The ball flipped forward is loose. A wild scramble. 2 seconds on the clock. Casper grabbing the ball. It is all a fumble. Casper has recovered in the end zone. The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. They said yes. Get your big butt out of here. He does.
Welcome to the Ladies of Darkness podcast, a member of the Crow's Nest Podcast Network.
Brought to you by DC4L Custom Tees and the Raider Ramble. Make sure you follow them to find our swag and some great content, including our amazing Angria trap. She wrote some pretty awesome articles the past week. You should read them.
Yeah, I got a little bored, so I decided, you know what, everyone else is doing stupid crap for off-season. Why don't I go ahead and do some stupid crap?
None of it was stupid. It was amazing.
Thank you. I think you're a little biased, but
I am not.
I'll take it.
Sweet. Well, check that out. We've been gone for a while, so we've got a lot to catch up on. However, we'll try not to bore you with things that you've already known for weeks on end, since we have been gone forever.
Yeah, we'll just touch on things briefly.
Yes. We like them briefs.
I was going to make a Catholic priest joke, but I decided against it. It was in poor taste.
Oh, you already just did, though.
Trust me, it would have been much worse.
Oh, now I'm sad that I didn't get to hear it.
Well, it'll come up again, I'm sure.
Probably. All right. We'd also like to take a moment to thank those of you who contributed towards our wonderful single mother in financial need. We appreciate more than you know. I said like 12 times just now, and now that someone pointed it out, that's all I hear when I talk.
Hey, we all have our moments, and we all have things that we do. I say when you say It's,
yeah.
like, it's peer pressure is what it is.
My new manager, damn it, I did it again. He says bit all the time. Like, instead of that thing, he'll say that bit. And I pointed it out to him, and he's like, I never say that. What are you talking about? And now every time he says it, he's like, oh, crap, I did it again. And then I was like, it's okay. I say every other word, so.
Only when you're on the, when you're being recorded. That's it. When you're not, I don't hear it.
Well, I do it when I'm, like, standing in front of a bunch of people talking at work, too, when I'm giving presentations.
It's when you're trying to think. You're focusing.
Yeah, or when I'm nervous. I don't know.
Whatever.
Although I shouldn't be nervous right now because this is my thing.
Right? You got beer.
Mm-hmm.
You got me.
I got my blanket.
What else do you need? You got clean hats?
I have I cleaned all my hats off. They were pretty dusty. And then we went to Bed Bath & Beyond and we got this hat holder thing that holds 30 hats.
Nice.
We might need 2 of them, but you can hang it from your ceiling, and then I can clean off my bookcase that I have all my hats on now and actually put books on it or something.
Well, you gotta have priorities. So, like, if the hats take priority over the books, then I can't be mad at you. I can't blame you. I'm not gonna hold that against you.
Good, because my hats are very important to me.
And you do very, very well with them.
Thank you.
So, what are we doing today? Oh yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff today. We have a whole bunch of crap to cover.
Yep.
since we've been gone for a little while. We're back. Hopefully we're back for good. I did not melt in the Alaska sun, thank God. It was 90 friggin' degrees here on 4th of July.
Yeah, I think we got to 92 on 4th of July here, and it was humid and disgusting.
It was gross. I tell you what, I've been living in my basement all weekend because it's cool down here. 90 degrees is our record-breaking temperature now. Thank you very much, Alaska sun. Appreciate that.
Wow, that doesn't sound very hot to be a record.
Well, when you're used to like 70s.
Yeah.
And we're like right on the water.
Oh.
So we get all the nice, ocean breeze and crap like that. Normally, we get into the 80s sometimes, and it's been hot. The last few years, we've been getting hot and hotter and hotter. But apparently we have never hit 90.
Wow. Is it humid?
It's, yeah. I mean, we're about average humidity, 30, 40, 50%, somewhere in there.
We went to miniature golf, and we did batting cages and go-karts on 4th of July, and it was so hot. I was sweaty. It was disgusting. But I did the batting cages and showed off my awesome talent of hitting like 3 out of the 16 balls that were thrown at me.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You know what? If it was that hot, I'm proud of you for hitting 3. I really am.
Yeah. To be fair, the thing needed to be adjusted because it was pitching it way too low, and I had to like bend down to hit the ball like a golf club.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
But we're friends with the owner, so I told him and he adjusted it, and then I got to hit some more.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So we're going to cover, well, as much as we can. We won't bore you with the details, but, anything that we feel like we need to talk about, we're going to talk about because it's what we do. So we're going to do that. We got our Lady Killer coming up. Seriously, bro. We got a brand new Heidi game, and I had a fantastic interview with your boy Q from the Locked On Raiders podcast. So we're going to throw that in there too. So
sweet.
But
that sounds awesome.
Before we get into all of this, we have to talk about saving injured turtles.
Yeah, let's do that.
There was a link on Twitter that we all saw and agreed was amazing. That where you can donate your old bras to save injured turtles. And I think we need to get that done. I think we need to put that word out there. Ladies, men with ladies in their lives, everybody has old bras. We all got them. Don't try to lie. Don't try to front. You do not throw your bras out the minute you feel like they're going. You hang on to those bitches until they turn into dust because they're expensive.
Yeah, and somehow I feel like I've never thrown a bra away, yet I don't know where any of my old bras are. It's like they just disintegrate.
I know the feeling. It's like they're dandelions. They just spore out and go, out in the wind or something. I don't know. But yeah. There's a better thing to do with them now. Before they disintegrate, try to send them to the Turtle Rescue. We'll go ahead. I can't pull up the link right now, but we'll go ahead and post that on our Twitter and on our Facebook and everything. And if you feel it necessary, if you really feel like a giving person, send your bras. Give your bras to turtles. It's amazing what they do with them. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Angria and I could save some of those giant desert tortoises with our bras.
Seriously. This is why we're looking at this. Like, you know what? We got there's big injured tortoises out there.
Oops, I just spit beer all over myself.
That's okay. We're talking about turtle bras. It's all good. Anyways. So,
I don't have a good segue for this. Are you done talking about turtles?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, there's never a bad time to talk about turtles. They're fun.
No, I just wasn't sure if you were done with your spiel about it.
No, that's our thing for the week. Donate your bras to turtles. They need them.
I was going to say, speaking of turtles, let's talk about this Broncos fan, but that wasn't a very good segue.
Well, they can be a little slow sometimes.
Yeah.
No.
So I hired this new kid. He works for me, and I was training him one day, and he got in my car, and he was like, "Whoa, you're a Raiders fan." And I was like, "Yeah," because I have Raiders shit all up in my car. And he was like, I don't want to upset you or anything, but I'm a Broncos fan. And I instantly said, get out of my car. And he kind of laughed it off. And so I said it again. And then he laughed nervously, like I really meant like get the fuck out of my car. And then I was thinking, well, I can't do that. I'm his boss. I have to like show him how to work. And we get like halfway down the street, and he starts talking crap about Derek Carr. And I was like, okay, this just isn't going to work out here. If you're going to talk shit about my quarterback, you're seriously going to have to get out of my car. I don't care if I am your boss and I'm trying to train you. You can train with someone else if you're going to be disrespectful in my car.
This is my house, bitch.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't mean that. He's not that bad. I'm like, no, he's not. Now shut up.
He's a heck of a lot better than any quarterback you've had on roster in the last, 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so proud of you. I'm so proud of your Raider fandom.
Thank you.
You hold it down. You really do.
I sure do. People, I haven't gotten to talk about, I got a new Raiders tattoo. I didn't put it, on Twitter because I just, I don't know.
Creepy?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't want to be one of those people. But if anyone wants to see it, let me know. I'll show you. I got it for my birthday, which was a few weeks ago now, and it's super awesome. And so I don't go anywhere without the Raiders on me anymore. I mean, not that I ever really did anyway, but if I, for some reason, am not wearing Raider stuff to work, I got my tattoo.
On the very rare occasion.
Yeah.
You're always prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Good girl.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and get into team news because it's going to take for freaking ever to get through this. There's a lot.
Whoa.
A freaking lot.
Touchdown, Raiders!
So.
Buttons on your long underwear. Haha, I gotcha.
My segue. Ba-dum-bum.
All right, stop. We need...
Anywho. Okay.
Sorry, people. It's been long. We forgot how this works.
Yeah. This isn't easy. It's not like riding a bike. Although it really isn't as easy to start riding a bike again after not riding it for 20 years. Because I got on a new bike and after, 15 years not riding it. And it wasn't as easy as everyone says it is.
I can't ride a bike, so I can't relate.
Aww.
I busted my tailbone when I was in high school, and so I can't ride a bike.
Oh, you physically can't?
Yeah. So people are like, how come you can't ride a bike? What's wrong with you? Because I'm broken. Not because I'm retarded. It's because I'm broken.
I broke my tailbone in middle school, or I chipped it. It's not... I don't know. They obviously couldn't really do anything about it, but... yeah, and it hurts sometimes still to this day, and that was, that was a long time ago.
It's not fun. All right, moving on.
Yes, so,
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We're talking about team news.
Team news!
So, we continue to add and subtract to our roster. A lot of new stuff going on here. We signed controversial offensive guard Richie Incognito, which... people are upset about, excited about. I don't know. There's mixed feelings there. How do you feel about that?
I have mixed feelings, to be honest. Incognito's got issues. He's got problems. If we can possibly make sure that he's mentally stable and not going to throw things, or, bring a gun to practice, then cool, great. Everything else, whatever, it's cool. I get it. We need a guy there, but there's just so much question. So much. There's a lot of ifs.
Chance some shit's gonna go down eventually with that.
However, and this is one of the things that I talked to Q about in my interview with him was you don't know how somebody's gonna act on the field, and there's a lot of ifs there, but. If there is any coach in the NFL who can control somebody like that, it's probably John Gruden or Bill Belichick. They're the two biggest hard asses. And I don't care what you say. Those two scare the dickens out of me. I wouldn't be happy to cross them. And I'm pretty mouthy. So, that should say something. But, yeah.
Speaking of that just made me think of real quick Hard Knocks. which is coming up in August. How excited are you for that?
Well, I can never get enough Gruden. I really can't.
Yeah.
I love him. Love him.
Yay.
But I think it's unnecessary.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to cause any issues for us?
I think it will.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how many people think, oh, distractions are just noise. You know what? These guys, a lot of them are professionals in name only. They're not professional athletes yet. They haven't even taken a snap on the field. Some of these guys can't act like professionals. It's just the way they do. I mean, they're just not built for that. They're athletes. Right. They're not Hollywood actors. They're not used to having all this crap going on around them, etc., etc. However, it is what it is. We've got them, and now we get to see more John Gruden. I'm excited about that.
Yes, it will definitely be interesting. I just today, actually, aside from renewing my Sunday ticket, I upgraded to HBO and all of the movie channels and stuff, so now I can actually watch it.
Oh, it's going to be fun. So what do you think? I mean, are you excited about it? Are you excited to see more Derek Carr? What do you...
I'm always excited to see Derek Carr. That's a funny question.
I know.
Yeah. I have never actually watched the show, so I'm not really sure what to expect. I am excited to see some of the behind the scenes stuff.
It'll be interesting. I watched some of the episodes. Actually, I did end up watching the whole season from last year with the Browns. I watched the first episode, and it was just like, ugh, this is boring. But then they had it on NFL Network, so I decided to watch it, and I was like, it's not too bad, I guess, but still. Yeah,
I watched a little bit of that when it was on NFL Network, like, I don't know, last week or something.
Yeah.
And I watched maybe like half an episode.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but I mean, I don't know what it contributes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't.
I think it's just another way to make money.
Yeah, it is. So Hard Knocks, we're looking forward to it, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not gonna hard knock it till I try it. Oh, that was so bad.
That was such a dad joke. I love it.
Sometimes
you're amazing.
I make bad dad jokes. I spent a lot of time with my dad this week, so that's got to be why.
Okay, that's what's filtering in.
He tells the worst jokes. It's hilarious. And I've heard the same ones like 30 times at least. And
that must be a dad thing.
Yeah, he doesn't remember, or he wants me to roll my eyes again. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
My dad is the same way. Like, Dad, you've told me this 6 Oh, I did? Oh, okay. Well, let me just finish it anyways.
Right?
Thanks, Dad.
I've learned to just not cut him off. I just let him tell a stupid joke and pretend I've never heard it. Haha, that's funny, gosh. Dad.
No, I just can't do it because he'll tell me the same thing like 18 times. And my stepmom sits over there and she rolls her eyes at me like, oh, God, I've heard this thing 362
times.
Does
the same thing. And she'll comment.
Yep. Always.
Yeah. But he doesn't stop.
Nope. Never.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Okay.
So we signed Richie. Richie,
yes.
You better keep your shit together.
Yes, you best.
We're going to be mad.
We come after you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so we also cut offensive guard Chaz Green.
Bye.
Meh. See ya. Get
your butt. Get.
Yeah. Raiders also added a punter, AJ Cole, following rookie minicamp tryout, and released punter Drew Kaiser.
So hopefully, either AJ Cole can punt the ball more than 20 yards, or what's his name? Johnny Townsend.
Oh my gosh, he has to punt further than Johnny Townsend.
Either that, or if Johnny Townsend didn't get some work in, I'm gonna have to forget his name. I'm sorry, Johnny, but you just don't. I only have so much room in my brain. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not earning your spot right now.
I'm hoping we don't have to do much punting, but.
Right. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yep. I can't wait. I think I'm way more excited about this season than any other season ever.
I think you have good reason to be.
It can't come soon enough.
No.
We've got 2 months left.
We have to wait 2 whole months.
I got my tickets to the Vikings game, and that's the week 3, so that's coming up pretty fast. I'm so excited. I might pee myself.
Okay, don't pee. I mean, if you're gonna pee at home.
Did I talk about this yet? My tickets?
You did. Your $3,000 tickets.
Yeah, front row,
Holy
50-yard line.
crap. Well, only the best. I mean, if you're going to do it right.
Oh, yeah, I might as well.
Yep. So.
I tried to book a hotel room where the Raiders stay, and they were like, sorry, they booked out all the rooms for that night. I was like, damn it.
Son of a bitch. You had a call earlier, man.
Apparently the Raiders bought the whole hotel out that night.
Well, for some reason that does not surprise me.
Yeah, she acted like she didn't know what it was for.
Oh,
I was like, I know what
what's
it's
going
for.
on.
Yeah, she was like, do you want to stay at this other hotel across the city? No. Screw you.
No.
I don't need to stay at a hotel. Just stay at my house.
That's not why I called you. This was not the point of this.
Right. My mom was like, just go sit in the bar at the hotel and drink. I was like, okay, that's my plan.
There you go.
I'll be there all night. If anyone needs me.
You know where I'm at.
Right.
All right, let's finish up these
moving on.
billions and billions of things that happened.
So we also declined picking up Carl Joseph's 5th-year option.
That's kind of disappointing, but I think that'll change.
Yeah. Wait,
I
you think the disappointment will change?
No, I think our decision on whether we keep him or not, right now it's not looking good, but I think after this season that might change.
You
see what I'm saying? Are you picking it up?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Good.
All the time. I'm bagging what you're raking.
Smelling what I'm stepping in.
Ew, I've never heard that one.
My son uses that one all the time. Apparently he steps in a lot of poop.
Gross.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, so all the 2019 draft picks have been signed except for Josh Jacobs, which is kind of upsetting, but I'm not worried about it. It's going to happen.
I don't think we should be.
Nah. He's expected to be signed very soon.
Any day.
Any day. So Mark was trying to figure out which Raiders jersey he's going to buy to wear to the game, and he was thinking about Josh Jacobs, and I was like, you might want to wait just in case.
Don't jinx it. If you buy it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, so we're going to wait a little bit on that.
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
Otherwise, he was like Conley or, who else did he say? I can't remember. Anyhow, he's going to have a Raiders jersey and I'll be happy.
That's true love right there.
For real.
For real.
Although, to be fair, he has jerseys from like all kinds of different teams and it pisses me off.
Are they other NFL teams?
Yeah.
Okay. So
he has a Browns jersey.
Is he a player fan then?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so. That'll never make him not a Cowboys fan, but he's definitely a player fan.
I get that. I get it. I can't hold it against him.
He wants a Kyler Murray jersey.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I know. I'm like, you should probably wait till after his first year.
Exactly. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? What else we got? We only got... we got a lot more. Keep going. Keep going.
Former Raiders tight end Lee Smith signed a 3-year contract with the Buffalo Bills.
Go Lee! We love Lee.
Woo.
I will never not love Lee. I swear. I'm gonna miss him.
That's why that's in team news and not outside the nation.
Exactly. Because we will always love Lee. And his beard. My turn. Left tackle Colton Miller has come in this offseason stronger and heavier. He has apparently weighed in at the combine at let's see how much he weighed in at.
He weighed in at 309 before, if I remember correctly.
And now he's at what, 328? 328.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is a much more fitting number for his size and his frame.
He doesn't look like a Barbie anymore.
Barbie. Oh, lamp pole. I don't know what he looked like before, but 6'8", dude. You gotta be mid 300s at least, otherwise you just look like a stick.
Yeah.
At least on the football field, that's what it's gonna look like. You're not the Mad Stork. You play on the wrong side of the ball. Also, defensive end Arden Key has come in apparently bulked up. He had a baby in the off season. So
wait, he had a baby?
Well,
is that why he bulked up?
his wife had the baby. Apparently, he's been doing some special kind of off-season diet training with a lot of rice. And like my friend Ray Asporia says, he's what is Ray? Ray's Filipino. He's like, my Asian friends, we know about how that rice does. Eating a lot of rice, you're gonna pack on some weight.
Yeah.
So. Baby plus rice equals 260 pounds apparently. Last year he was at 238. So, but he's still tall, he's still long, lanky looking. As long as he's wearing it well, as long as he's carrying it well, then he's good. He should be good. I think we'll be all right.
I'm hoping he has a good season. I mean, he did well last year, but I think he has a lot more potential than what we saw.
Yeah, he does. And Paul Gunther dropped that on him like a bomb. Brenson Buckner, our new defensive line coach, apparently brought him in and found 13 sacks that he left on the field.
Whoa.
13. Crazy.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous to think that he could have had 13 sacks himself when our whole team had 13 sacks. But I digress.
How many sacks do you think we'll have this season?
I think we'll break 20. I think we can do that without a problem. But if we get under 25, I'll be surprised. Under 25. I think that's a sweet spot. And I think that the personnel we've got right now, I can see it. I can see 25.
You're talking like 2 a game there.
Yeah. We got easy 4 sackers right now, easily, and that's being conservative, I think. If we put together this game plan, if Paul Gunther puts together his ideal, and he gets all of his millions of plays, which is just like a John Gruden version of the defense, he's got so much he can throw at somebody. He can blitz you from 6 different places, and I think he's got the right guys in place right now to do it.
Good.
So, we'll see. But fingers crossed. We also made a lot of changes. What? Did you say butt fingers?
What's a butt finger?
We're not going to talk about personal lives right now, okay? We're moving on.
You're the one who said butt fingers crossed.
Moving on, lady. Pervert lady.
Sorry, I have a lot of stuff to say.
She's been holding it in for a really long time.
I haven't talked in months.
This is the only time we let her out. Personnel department, scouting department. We finally got some updates on that. Thank goodness. So we hired a former Patriots national scout, Duane Daniels, as our assistant director of player personnel. We hired Jim Abrams as a director of college scouting. Dwayne Joseph as the director of pro personnel. Who else did we hire? We hired general manager Mike Mayock, of course, has promoted Tom Delaney to senior vice president in charge of, well, pretty much everything. Director of football administration is his official title. And Tom Delaney has been kind of like a stalwart. He's been one of those guys. Been the guy. He's in his 20th year with the Raiders. He's served as the director of football administration since 2012. He's responsible for negotiating player contracts, and he has been instrumental in managing our salary cap to get us out of the hell that we were once in.
Nice. 2 of the Raiders' 9 rookie draft picks, Josh Jacobs and Hunter Renfrow. Woo woo! Woo. I love Renfrow.
Renfrow!
Hell you! That's a sweet shirt you need to pick up from DC for all custom tees, by the way.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. It's nice.
For sure.
Nice.
Anywho, they were at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Rose Bowl. Shit. I was trying to talk my Pasadena voice. Anywho, they were in Pasadena for the annual NFLPA rookie premiere.
Moving on.
After graduating 3 years ago, Jalen Richard returned to Southern Miss to walk the stage at this year's commencement ceremony.
Go, Jalen! Congratulations!
Yeah. Center Rodney Hudson has announced that he finished his master's degree and graduated. That is incredibly amazing, and I'm super proud. Congratulations to Rodney and Jalen. Great job, gentlemen.
You guys are both, like, that's a role model right there.
Yeah, that's huge.
Huge.
Like, most people, I shouldn't say most people, but a lot of people start playing football and they're like, this is my career. I don't need to do anything else with my life. And they quit school or whatever. They don't go on.
Right. They just
so that's really nice to see.
Try to live off their money that they make during, and you never know what's going to happen. So why not get yourself that backup? This is what you went to college for.
Right.
You know, officially that's supposed to be what you went to college for.
You see all these rookies signing their deals and buying cars for their mamas. It's so cute.
It is adorable. Okay, so we're almost to training camp. We've had OTAs, we've had mini camp, and we have had a nice little handful of rookies that are making some good waves. Nice. Linebacker Tevin Coney, I'm never going to pronounce his name right. I'm always going to want to say Conley or Connie. So sorry, Tevin.
I was thinking Clooney for a second, not sure why.
He was an undrafted free agent out of Notre Dame. He's fighting for a spot on the 53-man roster, and early indications are that he has a good chance of making it. He's looking very good. Safety Jonathan Abram, who, by the way, I absolutely love. One of our yes, he's amazing. He's amazing. I love him. Already worked his way up to taking first team snaps. I expect he'll be a day one starter. I would be surprised if he was not. One of our bajillion tight ends right now. I feel like we have a humongous tight end room. I feel like we're going to have like 3 or 4 left at least on the field. Darren Waller.
75.
Huh?
75 tight ends would not make up for Jared Cook. Let me just say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll miss Jared.
He will forever be hanging in my office.
Yep. That was a great
picture of him, not actually him.
This guy, Jared Cook disappeared. What happened to him? Well, I don't know. There was this lady on the radio one time that was talking about him, though. You might want to go check her office. Darren Waller, back to Raiders tight ends. Thank you very much.
Shut up.
Who was signed off of the Ravens practice squad last year, is currently considered to be the early starter. So that will be interesting. We'll see how that works. Also, since you are just so in love with Hunter Renfrow, which is fine with me. Third Renfrow. Our 5th round draft pick out of Clemson. By the end of preseason, he's looking to be a good option for a starting slot receiver.
Hell yeah, he is.
I think he was a huge pickup for us. Huge draft diamond. And defensive end Mad Max Crosby, our 4th round pick, also turning heads, and he will be competing for a starting job. I wouldn't be surprised if he is one of the early rotations into is that early guys into rotation? See, it's been too long. Okay, my brain's done. Okay, it's your turn. I'm done talking for the moment.
Well, we already got into this Hard Knocks crap. Yeah. Sorry about that. Stepped on some toes there.
Jenny jumped the shark a little there.
I showed it. Just in case you missed it, it'll be on HBO, and the first episode will air on August 6th. For training camp, the first Raiders players will arrive at the Napa Valley Marriott on July 23rd. That's coming up!
Soon! It's only 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks.
Right?
Woohoo!
Yeah. Those first arrivals are rookies, select first-year players, and quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks. So I'm going to guess select first-year players and quarterbacks means that Derek Carr and Antonio Brown are going to be over there having a love fest.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's going to be my guess.
Wish I had no job and all the money in the world and I could just go there.
Dude, if we can find anybody that can make that happen for me and for Jenny, that'd be amazing. Mm-hmm, so, we're always taking donors.
Hell yeah.
Always looking for sponsors.
When you said donor, all I thought of was sperm. I'm sorry.
Oh. We need to get you out more often.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks. I don't know what that has to do with sperm, but okay.
I don't either, but I'm not going to ask.
Yeah, let's just move on here. They will have a 3-day training camp warm-up before the rest of the team arrives on July 26th. And the Raiders will hold joint practices with the Rams in training camp. That should be interesting.
We'll see how many fights break out there, because usually they do.
Yep. And I can take a couple guesses as to who will be involved in that. But
couldn't be Talib or Peters, could it? No, never. No.
What? Who?
Moving on.
So these will take place before the Raiders' only home preseason game, and the reason it will be our only home preseason game is because we'll be using our other home game to host the Packers in Winnipeg.
Woo.
People are super salty about this, and I feel like they gave us a super hard schedule, and all of our games, most of our games are away, and they hate us because we're moving.
Well, you know what? They can eat a dick. I don't care. NFL, that was rude.
Mm-hmm.
We have not only a second-year head coach, but we're moving. We got a whole big old bunch of new roster areas. And then we're always one of the most traveled teams, and you're going to do it to us again, but whatever. It's cool. We roll with it. You know why?
Because we're the Raiders.
We do this.
Yes. And not that I'm excited about this, but we'll be making history yet again, because the Raiders will become the first season in NFL history to play in 3 different countries in one season.
You're goddamn right.
Yes.
Racking up those all those little record book things.
Yes.
Woohoo!
In other news, Derek Carr and his wife Heather. Well,
Freudian slip. Sorry.
Yeah. Oops. Welcome their third child, son, Deacon Derek Carr. If they have 12 children, they're all going to have D names, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
And they're all going to be boys, apparently, because Lord have mercy.
There's so many boys in the Carr family, it's ridiculous.
I don't think they can have girls. Can they?
Nope. I don't know.
It's
have you
weird.
seen one?
I don't know.
It is weird.
That's a lot of boys.
All going to be football players.
Probably.
And I'm only going to care about one of them.
Some other very, very exciting news for those of us who are fans of the old Raiders, and if you're not, you need to be. Former Raiders tight end Todd Christensen, who is my personal favorite, by the way, was posthumously enshrined into the California Sports Hall of Fame. And it is unfortunate that he had to be posthumously enshrined, but at least he's there. He's being recognized. And you know what, Todd? We miss you, buddy. He was Rob Gronkowski before there was Rob Gronkowski. He was Greg Olsen before there was Greg Olsen. He was the man. Dude was ridiculous. Crazy good.
True that.
So, put some respect on his name. Charles Woodson also was inducted into the University of Michigan Hall of Fame. Woo!
As he should be.
As he should be. Raider Nation moment of silence also coming up, because it has been a really rough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
For both loss and injury in just overall football. So we're going to have a Raider Nation a moment of silence for former assistant coach Bob Zeman, linebacker Don Connors, and assistant coach Gunther Cunningham, who have all passed away in the last couple of weeks. All right. No more moments of silence. Everybody else, please stay put, please.
Yes.
We don't like doing those. They're very sad.
No, they're terrible. And they happen on every show, it seems.
We had a long spurt of where we had to have a moment every single week. And then we had some reprieve for a little while, but it wasn't long.
No.
Not long enough.
Well, moving on to a happier note. Congrats to our recent contest winners. We really love it when you guys participate in our contests, and y'all are great. So send in ideas for contests. We'd love to see them, hear them, whatever. And we will try and think of some more on our end too. But you guys should put in some work. Y'all want free shit? Give us some ideas.
Yeah, give us ideas of how you want to earn your free shit. There you go. Well, I guess that was all of the news. There's probably more in there that we missed, but don't you think that's enough? I think that's enough.
Yeah. So, real quick though, did you see my poll a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, about what the most hated team in the NFL is?
Yes, I did.
And I put Raiders, Cowboys, Patriots, and other. Mm-hmm. And so I did this because Mark and I were talking and a little bit arguing, and he was like, the Cowboys are totally the most hated team in America. And I was like, yeah, I totally agree with you, but as of the past, 4 or 5 years, it's been the Patriots, just, I mean, more on our end.
Right.
But, so we were trying to see if everyone would pick the Cowboys, because they've been hated since the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Or even before that. And it turned out the Patriots won, and the Raiders were second, and the Cowboys were third.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, I think that most of the people voting were Raider fans, and Raider fans know that they're hated, so, I don't know. It got 770 votes or something.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Well, I voted for the Cowboys because that's a throwback to when I was growing up. Yeah. I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, and the 90s were just disgusting, just rife with Cowboys crap, and it was annoying. And that will never go away for me. Sorry. It just never will.
My mom texted me, and she said, I saw your poll, and it's most definitely the Cowboys. What kind of question is that? Yeah. I was like, yeah, but, all these 15-year-olds. No, I'm kidding.
If you name yourself America's team, nobody named them that. They named themselves that. They didn't earn that name. It's not like somebody gave it to them. They said, we're America's team. Everybody else is like, nah, bro. I don't think you are.
You keep thinking that.
Oh, you guys are adorable.
Just because you have a star doesn't mean shit.
Right. All right, news outside the nation. You ready? Let's go.
To satisfy your passing fancy with the rest of the league, here's the news outside the nation.
Whatever.
So, the NFL will open a training academy in London this fall for teenagers who want to tackle the sport, which is super awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. Give them something to do other than masturbate in their rooms.
Do London teenagers do that a lot? We should ask.
I think every teenager does that.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not going to ask that question. I might get put in jail.
Moving on.
Moving on. Starting in September, the NFL Academy will offer student athletes ages 16 to 18 the opportunity to combine education with the life skills and intensive training in the sport under full-time professional coaches.
That
would be so fun. I wonder if they're going to let girls do it.
I hope so. Why not?
That'd be cool. Because they didn't when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm still bitter about that, and I never won't be. The NFL also voted through a plan in March to expand the replay system to include offensive and defensive pass interference, both calls and non-calls for the 2019 season only. I think we already covered this on our last
they had
show,
passed the okay to do it, but they have finally voted through the plan to do it. So it passed the initial vote.
Okay. Well, that's going to be messy and terrifying and horrible.
It is.
But we'll see how it goes. At least it's only for 1 year, and then they'll scrap it like that stupid quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
blowing on the quarterback rule.
Yeah, you're not allowed to sneeze near the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what they have that yellow laundry for, so you can, like, you know, you're going to sneeze on the quarterback. Well, here you go. We have a hanky for you. It just comes with 15 yards.
You're such a dork.
I know.
love you.
I'm sorry.
Moving on. The Cowboys wide receiver Amari Booper.
He does look like Booper, because when he drops the ball, it's like bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, shit. It hit me on the head. What happened? I don't know where it went. Okay, sorry.
Anywho, his contract demands were shockingly high. Shockingly. And Dallas openly recognizes the floor of his contract is $16 million annually.
Can I just say how ridiculous that is? Whew.
Yeah,
Whew.
whatever.
All right. Anyways.
Cooper's demands had to be significantly higher for the Cowboys to be shocked. And on a less important note, Joel Siegel is his agent.
Well, that's kind of what drives this note, I think.
It is.
Joel
I
Siegel.
know.
That's a lovely guy.
Hence the less important note. Whatever.
It's Cooper.
It's Cooper.
Amari Pooper.
Amari Pooper, and to be fair, he finally admitted that the Raiders weren't a good fit, which we all knew, and that's all of a sudden why he's like the best football player in the history of football, according to himself.
And Cowboys fans.
And
like
Cowboys
him.
fans. And Mark.
Well, he's a Cowboys fan, so that's okay. I can't wait for the day that you buy him an Amari Pooper jersey.
Never gonna happen.
I know, that's why I love
if
you.
I actually put like Cooper on the back, that'd be cool.
I was gonna say you could do that. I bet you somebody would do it. Okay, in other news, Alex Smith gave an interview where he said that he does plan on coming back and playing football, even despite his very severe broken leg he suffered last year, which I like. I think that's great. Alex Smith.
Wait. You like his broken leg?
No,
what?
I like that he's trying to come back. I don't like his broken leg. No.
You're like, he had a very severe broken leg, which I like.
No. Sorry, poor timing. My fault. No, I like the fact that he's trying to come back, because I think Alex Smith is a decent quarterback. I think he's a good guy more than anything.
Yeah.
And I hope that he does. I hope he's able to rehab and come back and do a good job for either the Redskins or whoever he decides to play for. I'm excited to see him work through it, because I think he can. I think he's got the drive.
Real quick, since we're talking about injuries, I haven't heard anything about this. So tell me if you have. Have you heard anything about our number one thirst list quarterback?
No.
No.
Jimmy? Why is he?
Yeah.
Is he playing?
No, I don't. I haven't heard.
I haven't
anything.
heard one thing. I don't know how he's doing. Not a clue.
Huh. Weird.
That is weird.
Okay.
Maybe they're just keeping him under wraps. I don't know why that was so funny, but you're weird.
Like his leg is wrapped up.
Oh, God.
They're also. Shut up,
right.
I drink.
Also, in other news, you're killing me right now. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill of the Kansas City Chiefs, sorry, had a little moment there, remains away from the team and has avoided charges
Somehow,
in an alleged child abuse case against his 3-year-old son. He met with NFL execs in the last couple weeks. I can't remember exactly what it was. And he's expected to receive a 4-game suspension, which has yet to be announced.
that's less than Zeke got.
That is. And I'm just going to say, the dude admitted on tape, verbally, admitted, yeah, I punched my son in the chest to punish him. And that's just cool with you? All right. Just keep him away from me and my kids, because I'll shoot him. I will.
Yeah.
I will. I have no problem with this.
What a gross human.
What a disgusting human being. And can I say, I understand people are trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but when you say with your own words when you admit something like that with your own words, and he did not say that in that many words. He agreed with his girlfriend, who's a piece of shit also, by the way. These are two human plops. That's all they are. And neither of them should be allowed to breed, and neither of them should be allowed to have children in their homes. But when you agree with someone who says, well, you punch your son in the chest to punish him, and you say, yeah, I know, that's kind of an admission.
Yeah, not kind of, it is.
It's not just him, this is not, I misunderstood what you were asking me. No, that's what he said. And I think it's kind of shitty of a person to listen to that and look at all of the things that have happened and say, he's probably good. Nah, he's not good. Nah, bro, sorry.
To be fair, it's only the Chiefs fans that are defending him.
No, actually, there were a couple others that were like, I'm not a Chiefs fan, but you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. No, you don't. There's no doubt.
Gross.
He said this. He didn't break his kid's arm. That's what the evidence is proving. And he never admitted to breaking his kid's arm. He admitted to punching him in the chest, though, which can kill a baby. His kid's 3 years old.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have a fully formed skeletal system yet. But that's all cool. Whatever. You go with that, Chiefs. I'm not chill with it. I'm not good with it. Moving on, the NFL has asked teams to stop using, and this is funny, stop using the Oklahoma drill, which, among others, has been used far less frequently in recent years. Its history is rooted in reacquainting players with the full contact after the off-season. It pits a defender against a blocker who's trying to make room for a ball carrier, sorry. It's a running back thing. The teammates and the coaches usually surround the drill area to create a battle-type atmosphere. Battle dome. So it's caused some problems. Recommendations came in response to data that showed it did show a high rate of concussions during the early part of training camp in recent years. So this is not helping our whole argument that we need to do more hitting. But maybe that kind of hitting is not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Just saying. The Carolina Panthers have been named as this year's team to be featured on Amazon's All or Nothing, which, by the way, I really like that show. I watched the one they had with the Cardinals, and I really enjoyed it. And maybe it's just because Bruce Arians is funny as hell. But I thought it was better produced than HBO Hard Knocks.
Oh,
just my 2 cents.
I don't know if I've seen that. Maybe I've seen the Cardinals. Maybe
you should watch it. It's pretty good. It's pretty interesting.
Okay. Former Patriots player and current NFL analyst Teddy Bruschi suffered a stroke over the 4th of July. That's really sad.
It is.
He had previously suffered a stroke during his playing career, which he was able to recover from and return to playing. Dolphins defensive tackle Kendrick Norton was involved in a car accident over the 4th of July, which resulted in his left arm being amputated. His injuries are not considered life-threatening. This is really sad and devastating. For a player to lose his arm is just that's terrible. Yeah, terrible. That's really sad. I hope he's healthy moving forward and he can do what he wants to do. I don't know what to say to that. It's terrible.
Well, at this point, it's just a hope that he can recover. There's always a possibility he can come back in another capacity. But I know as an athlete, looking at this, everything you've worked for and tried to accomplish, this is devastating for him.
Yeah. Through some rehab, he can, if he wants to, he could probably play. Aaliyah's favorite football player only has one arm, and he balls out.
That's true.
Yeah.
See? Mm-hmm. Shaq?
Yep.
You are an inspiration to everybody.
Yeah, for real.
So you know what, Kendrick? There's no telling what could happen.
Right. Unfortunately, we're going to have another moment of silence. We're doing 2 separate ones because this one is outside of the nation, but it's still in our hearts. the Denver Broncos owner, Pat Bowlen, passed away after a long illness. And legendary quarterback and head coach of the Green Bay Packers, Star, passed away at the age of 85.
So we'll have a moment of silence for those two amazingly influential men in the history of the NFL, Bart Starr and Pat Bowlen. And thoughts and prayers go out to both the Packers family and the Broncos family.
Mm-hmm.
We know how you feel. We've been there.
Yeah.
So.
Is Pat Bowlen's wife going to take over? Do we know?
She's been running the operations for a little while now, I think. A couple years anyways, because he's not been completely able to manage everything. So I believe that she's going to be taking over fully. That's what I know about it. But I'd have to do a little bit more looking into it to find out exactly what the ins and outs are.
Well, I hope that's what happens. I mean...
I do too. I think it'll definitely stay in the family.
Yeah, it should. And women in football is awesome.
It is.
Let me just say.
We do kind of rock.
Yes. Man, this is a depressing segment here.
This is. We're almost done though.
Okay.
Almost done.
Bill's Mafia member, Pancho Villa, or Billa, I don't know how you want to say that, passed away after a valiant battle with cancer. It doesn't matter what team you cheer for or what kind of fan you are, we are all connected in loving football. And when one of our own passes on, it's hard for everybody. So take a moment for him. He was completely beloved, and we saw so much love for him on Twitter after this happened.
That was beautiful, Jenny.
Thanks, I'm tearing up here.
Stop it. No, none of that. All right.
Okay, moving on from that. Former Chiefs linebacker Derek Johnson retires after 14 NFL seasons. He played for Raiders last season, sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of.
He was there.
Yeah.
He said nice things.
Yeah. We had a lot of people retire, like, from playing, well, not a lot, I guess 3, but whatever. Because Jordy Nelson, and then him, and then I'll always count Janikowski, even though he wasn't playing for us.
And Shane Leckler.
Yeah. Cornerback Adam Pac-Man Jones has retired from the NFL. Bye, Felicia.
Although, looking at Amari now, I kind of think, like, nah, never mind, I'm not going to say it. Moving on.
I know this has been like beating a dead horse, but if you want to get your 2 cents in, call us at 802-328-1867. Again, that number is 802-328-1867.
We absolutely love your phone calls. We did get a couple, but most of them were, well, I think it was just mostly Happy Mother's Day, so that's how long it's been since we've been recording.
Yeah. I pretty much cried when, like, we had planned to have the girls on for Mother's Day, and Aaliyah didn't give me the time of the day that day. So,
she was like super bitch that day. I was about to fly down there and whoop her little butt.
Yeah, she was so excited to record, and then she talked about it like 2 days prior, and then when it came to Mother's Day, she was just outy. But I realized like a few days later that I think it's because she was missing her mom, and she, her biological mom, her drunk mom as she calls her.
Her drunk mom, that's what she calls her.
She used to, yeah. Yeah, I think she was missing her, and she felt guilty or something.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But, yeah. Anywho. Call us. We'll have the girls on some other time, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll have them on. Let's go ahead and take a few minutes now. Actually, I'm going to let you guys take a few minutes now and listen to my interview with your boy Q from the Locked On Raiders podcast. He was amazing. He was awesome. And stay tuned for his favorite animal because it comes up at the end, and it really does tie into this episode.
Oh.
Joining us now is your boy Q from the Locked On Raiders podcast. Q, how are you doing today?
Really good. It's always a blessing anytime I get a chance to talk some Raiders football, so I'm pretty excited, pretty fired up. I know the Ladies of Darkness have been getting a lot of love on Twitter and everything, and so I'm just glad to be a part of it for a episode or two.
Absolutely. We really appreciate you being here. So, yeah, well, we won't take too much of your time, but as much of it as we can. Tell me, how did you become a Raiders fan? Because you're in Texas, correct?
Yeah, I'm in Central Texas right now, but I'm a Bay Area guy. I lived in and was raised in the Bay Area my whole life, and so I just got to Texas in 2010. So the whole time from me growing up in 76, that's when I was born, and then just being around my parents and them being in the Bay, it was always sports, and so I kind of felt my way to whatever team I was gonna support and love, and then I always had love for the Raiders even when they were in LA, and then when they came back in '95, it was like, all right, that's a deal sealer right there. It's got to be, you know what I mean? You got to rock with the silver and black then.
It's a sign, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, the Coliseum was always a place of so much fun and having so much entertainment and just going there and just seeing all the Raider Nation rocking with each other. So I was like, man, this has to be a part of me,
Yeah.
And I always tell everybody that Raider fans are different. Raiders in general are just different, just cut from a different cloth. And I felt like, you know what, this is the kind of cloth that I'm cut from. I could tell that I fit in perfect with these guys. So I'm definitely gonna rock with the Raiders. So I always have been, and I represent every day in Central Texas, even though, like I said, I'm in Texas. It's all good. Still holding it down for the Raider Nation.
Well, as you should be. Raider Nation is everywhere, so I'm sure you're not alone down there.
No.
So you mentioned they moved from, obviously from Oakland to Los Angeles and then moved back. So how do you feel about them moving to Vegas now? They're going to be a little closer to you, but
yeah,
we are going to be without the Coliseum.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them moving again. I think that, the city of Oakland is losing their team twice. And in general, if you take a step back and look at the city of Oakland in general, they're losing the Warriors. They're going across the bridge to San Francisco. The Raiders obviously going to Vegas. Who knows where the A's are going to play? And it's just, I feel bad for the city. I feel bad for the Bay because, again, like I said, they're losing the team for the second time. It looks like John Gruden has a good idea of what he's doing and is ready to turn this team around. And as soon as they get hot and get ready to roll, then all of a sudden it's like, all right, peace out, we're gone. But truth of the matter is the stadium needed to be, fixed. It needed to be basically demolished and done over. They needed a state-of-the-art stadium. They're getting one in Vegas. It sucks that they couldn't have done this deal in Oakland, but I get it, and I don't like to get into the politics side of things because it's a lot of mudslinging back and forth, and I don't really get into that, but I just know that it just wasn't capable. It wasn't one of those things that was possible for the city of Oakland to pull off, and they're still paying off on them coming back from 95. So, right. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, like you said, the Raider Nation is worldwide, so it's going to represent in Vegas. I know I'm going to go represent in Vegas. I'm sure everyone's going to go represent, even though it might be a little tough at first. But it's like, man, come on. This team deserves a really good stadium, really state-of-the-art. The franchise is going to be worth so much more now. It's going to be great. It really is. I can't wait to see that stadium host a Super Bowl. I mean, there's so many different things that they can do once they get that stadium built.
That's absolutely the bottom line, is this team has been raked over the coals for way too long. They've been the redheaded stepchild. And I really do feel bad for my people down in the Bay because we do have a lot of friends down there, and it does suck. But the team does deserve something shiny and new. It's been way too long.
Right.
So you mentioned John Gruden's trying to do some good things for the team. So tell me, what did you think of the draft this year? I thought he kind of knocked it out of the park, but, obviously he's getting a lot of criticism. So from your perspective, what do you see?
Well, I was excited about the draft. I was there in Nashville when it happened, and I think him and Mike Mayock did exactly what you said. I think they knocked it out of the park. I think they got what they wanted to get. I know there's some names that may be a little bit bigger that they probably could have got that would have made some people's national media more hyped on what they did, and, oh, man, they knocked it out of the park. But I think for what they were trying to do, and Mike Mayock said it so many times, and I think that he's a guy who may get overlooked at times about how important he really is. Everyone says, oh, well, John Gruden's just calling all the shots. But I think Mike Mayock is a really good sounding board. I think he's a guy that has a lot of influence. I think he grinds like John Gruden grinds. And when that's the case, a lot of times a person could respect someone who does that, someone who's on the same level as them, someone who they look in the mirror and they see themselves in. So I think that John Gruden really respects Mike Mayock, and I think that he really helped orchestrate a really good draft. And, Cleveland Farrell was their first guy. That was their number one guy, according to, what Mike Mayock was saying. Hey, that was our dude. We did think we could trade down and get him, but ultimately there wasn't a trade. So there was no trade partner. You can't just force a trade. So, hey, they went and got their guy that they feel like can do everything that they want him to do, which, again, if you go back to all the players on the Clemson team, they all said that the leader of that defense was this guy. He was that guy. The Raiders don't have any leadership on their team, or they've lacked leadership over the years of real deal leaders, and so he's going to be one of those guys. Then they turn around number 24 overall and get Josh Jacobs. I've been very high on Josh Jacobs. I think he's going to be the modern day what's his name, Charlie Garner. I think he's going to be that guy and just be able to fit into John Gruden's offense really, really well. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on his tires, so I think he's going to be one of those Alabama running backs that can really help this team out. And then Jonathan Abram, he just acts like a Raider. He just seems like he's a Raider.
You know what I mean? He came out with that attitude right away, too.
Yeah. I mean, he was talking trash to John Gruden on the initial call.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
He's got Raider tendencies already. So, yeah, and that's just the first round. You know, I mean, a lot of times people stop looking at the draft when the first round's over. But, Trayvon Mullen, the second round draft pick, who's already working out with Antonio Brown, I think that's huge. That's a big deal. Hunter Renfrow, he's a guy that I'm very excited about. He's a wide receiver that I think is going to dominate in this offense because he doesn't drop balls. And that's something that Derek Carr and the Raiders have been plagued with for years, is just guys dropping pass after pass after pass. I don't remember who it was, but I saw a YouTube video of the 2016 season when there was nothing but drop passes. It was a very depressing video, but something that you need to watch. Just guy after guy after guy after guy dropping passes. If it was Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, Clive Walford, Seth Roberts, I mean, just one after the other. Jalen Richard, all these guys just dropping pass after pass, and that's what Hunter Renfrow doesn't do. I think he's going to be a guy that Raider Nation is going to be so excited about because he doesn't drop the ball. He'll do what he has to do. He's not going to burn anybody. He's not going to get downfield and, take the top off the defense. He's not going to do that. But if it's 3rd and 8, he's going to be where he needs to be. He's going to catch the ball and extend the drive and keep him moving. Definitely. He's going to come up clutch for Derek Carr, and I think those guys are going to come and become really, really good friends, especially with Antonio Brown getting so much attention, so with Tyrell Williams getting so much attention. I think Hunter Renfrow is going to really eat this year in that John Gruden offense, and that's a guy I really look forward to seeing.
You said something there that really piqued my interest. One of the things that I really appreciate about your podcast is that you don't pull any punches. You mentioned that it's a hard video to watch, but you have to watch it. And that's one of the things I think we overlook too much is you have to watch the negatives and appreciate the positives. One of the things that Derek Carr hasn't had is reliability, and Renfrow is one of those reliable guys that can do that.
Right. And then on top of that, Antonio Brown's going to hold those cats responsible too. He's going to, he's holding them to a whole nother standard. And I mean, think about this. If you're walking into a training camp and you see a guy who you know is going to go into the Hall of Fame and Antonio Brown working after practice on the jugs machine or working after practice with a quarterback, are you going to leave practice early or are you going to sit there and say, no, I'll get in line and catch some extra passes? You better. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is how I got to stay in the league. So yeah, that's a really good kind of just like a standard to set, and that's something that the Raiders really, really need.
Yeah, it's a blueprint for a Hall of Famer, and that's what they're watching. Yep. So since you don't pull any punches, I want to know what's your outlook for the season upcoming? What strengths and what weaknesses are you looking at when you see this team?
Well, the thing about it is I think that the season's going to go as the start of the season goes. You know what I mean? Like they have 2 games in Oakland to start off. If they can get out to a 2-0 start, they could be on to something this season. The problem with this season and this schedule, and it's funny because I was calling it what was I using? I was saying it was adversity. I was saying that they have a lot of adversity they're going to have to deal with, when really the right word is really challenges. They're going to have a lot of challenges this season, and a lot of it is being on the road, traveling to London, playing in 3 countries this year. I know preseason doesn't matter, but they're technically playing in 3 countries this season. And it's like, it's a lot of there's a lot of issues that they have. They have a really tough schedule. I mean, if you look at it, it's going to be a tough one. They have improved, I mean, greatly. That roster is a lot more talent than they had in 2018. But the schedule is very difficult. The teams that they're going to be playing, they've also improved, and Patrick Mahomes is going into year 2 as a starter. I mean, I'm expecting him to be better. Every team tries to get better. They don't just try to sit there and stay status quo as they were the year before. So if they can get off to a good start, beat Denver at home, I think that's a very winnable game Monday night, first game of the season. If they could turn around and beat the Chiefs early in the season, maybe the Chiefs aren't off to a hot start. Maybe they can get off to a 2-0 start. Then all of a sudden they have confidence. Then they start believing in each other. Then John Gruden knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that starts breeding some confidence. So if they can make that happen, if they can get off to that 2-0 start, they can really turn this thing around and have a really good season. If you look at the schedule when it came out, I told everybody on my podcast, I could see them going anywhere from 4-12 to 8-8. And I know that that's a hell of a jump, but it's honest. I mean, it's real. Like, I could see them going 4-12 again based off the schedule. But I also could see a couple of those teams not being as good as they were in 2018. I could see the Raiders being a lot better in 2019. And boom, you go ahead and steal a couple games that people didn't think you were going to win.
Yeah.
And, this defense has to be better. That's one of the things. This defense has to be better. They really went and addressed the offense a lot during free agency. Now they had to go and address the defense during the draft. So if they got the players that they feel fit Paul Gunther's system, if he feels confident, which he sounds very confident, and again, OTAs, mandatory minicamp, that's one thing. You're not hitting with pads. You're not doing all that. I mean, it sounds all good right now. So this season really could turn into something like that was the beginning of something special. I mean, we could all look back in a couple of years to say this 2019 season was the start of something.
Right.
Or it might not be. Depending on if they get out of the gate slow and they have some turnovers and they're just not clicking like you think they should click. And what if you lose the first 2 games and then you go on the road for like 7 weeks?
Yeah.
I mean, you could be really in some trouble. You know what I mean? So that's the reality of it. They have to get off to a good start. So those first 2 games in Oakland are going to be major, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a huge, huge indicator of the way the season goes, because I don't think people take into account as much as they should the mental aspect of this game. And John Gruden's, he's a motivator at heart and by nature, and even he has a hard time sometimes, I think, watching these teams lose. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose. I mean, he doesn't.
No.
There's a lot of talk in 2018, he's just tanking, or he's trying to get the number 1 pick. There is not a bone in John Gruden's body that wants to lose a game. I mean, he has that. He's got that edge to him. He doesn't want to lose. He just knows what he was up against. And 2018 was not a very favorable season, but I think that, his second year back, he knows what kind of players he has. He kind of weeded out the guys that don't fit with what he does and brought in guys that do, And again, Antonio Brown is a guy that could go in there and do like so many other free agents have done when they went to the Raiders, just kind of took a check and cashed a check every Sunday or whatever and just went through the motions. Antonio Brown's not trying to do that. He's trying to catch Jerry Rice. He's trying to break records. He's trying to do stuff that's unheard of. He's trying to prove that it wasn't Pittsburgh and Big Ben that made him successful. It was him that made Big Ben successful. He's got an axe to grind, and that's good. A motivated Antonio Brown, which I don't think anyone ever had to motivate him, but just think about an extra motivated Antonio. Yeah, that's to the Raiders' advantage all day, every day.
Huge, yeah. So let's talk about the offense for a second. They did address a lot of that in free agency, and there were a couple real big, well, I think there was one really significant pickup. We'll see how he does. Richie, of course, but we're going to have to sit through his suspension, I'm sure. You had done an interview with Raiders legendary lineman Lincoln Kennedy, what was it, last week, I believe, yeah?
Yeah, a week or 2 ago, yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that interview. He had mentioned that the suspension was coming down. So that's something I expect, and I have no bones about it. It is what it is, and it's going to happen. But one of the things I really am looking forward to is Colton Miller this season. So what is your take on Colton Miller, and do you think he's going to be improved? Do you think he's going to be able to fit into this zone blocking scheme that Tom Cable runs? And
I think he's gonna have to.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to. The thing about it is, in that interview, I'm glad you brought that up. That interview really kind of opened my eyes up to why they're running that zone blocking scheme. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just because Tom Cable was so hell-bent on it had to be the zone blocking scheme, and Lincoln Kennedy said, no, they got the players to run the power blocking, but The CBA is what's stopping them. The fact that they can't practice the power blocking scheme. So that opened my eyes, and that's why it's always good to talk to a guy like that, one is on the inside and knows that, but two is a lineman and kind of gets it as well and could break it down, because we see what we see by sitting at the house watching or at the game watching, and we're thinking, or at least I was, why in the hell with those big dogs that you have up front are you running this zone blocking scheme?
Why are you not running people over?
Yeah, exactly. So that was great when he kind of opened my eyes to that one. But I think Colton Miller, he's gonna have to be a lot better. The thing that's unfair to Colton Miller, and I know I'm guilty of it as well, 99.9 of Raider Nation, or 99.9% of Raider Nation, in my opinion, wanted Derwin James in the draft. I think 99.9 said Derwin James, and he ended up going by the Raiders twice. And I was at that draft, and I kept yelling, yes, the Raiders about to get Derwin. The Raiders, trade, okay. And then all of a sudden he came up again. All right, the Raiders about to get Derwin now. Oh, it's a lineman, Colton Miller. So I think he's always going to be compared to him, and no matter what happens, Derwin James is always, because he's a skill guy, he's always going to be more in the headlights, more in the highlights. I mean, and it's just going to be his name you're going to hear more. So it's always going to say, yeah, that's the guy that the Raiders could have had. Instead, you got Colton Miller. So he'll probably never live up to what he should be, but I think this year is going to be a big one. I think he has to be a little bit stronger. He has to gain some weight, be stronger, and just be healthy. Because when he was healthy in 2018, he was not bad. He wasn't he wasn't terrible. But when he got injured and tried to fight through it and play through it, that's when it all went to hell. So hopefully Colton Miller is 100% healthy. Hopefully with Richie Incognito there to help him out a little bit, with Trent Brown on the right side, that's a veteran now, been around the league a little bit, can help coach him up a little bit as well. Rodney Hudson obviously is the pros pro. He's that guy. Gabe Jackson, he's very good. Hopefully they can all kind of get on the same page and help this guy out. But he has so much on his shoulders. He has so much on his plate. He has got to figure this out. Yeah. I mean, he really does. For the Raiders to be successful in 2019 on offense, that offensive line has to be solid. They cannot let Derek Carr get sacked 51 times. They just can't. And like Lincoln Kennedy said, he's not going to take off and run. We see all the time when he has an opportunity to go get 3, 4, 5 yards, he's not going to do it. He did it a few times back in 2016 when he had that MVP type season. But since then, I mean, it's very rare that you see Derek Carr take off running. So he's going to have a protected, a clean pocket. Yeah. So Colton Miller is going to have to keep some really good players off of Derek Carr's backside, and that's going to be a tall task. But it's on him. He was a first-round draft pick. He's got to do it.
Yeah. And linemen are so much more important than people give him credit for. Colton last year in his first, I believe, 3 or 4 weeks, he was a top 7 offensive rookie lineman. And he did a real good job. So if he's healthy this year, like you said, if he packs on a little bit of weight, if he just, I think he thrives when he's next to an all pro and or a Pro Bowler or whoever you put next to him that's got a lot of clout and a lot of skill, like Kelechi Osemele. He did really well. So putting him next to Richie Incognito, maybe he'll get some of that nasty.
I think he needs some.
Yeah, he does.
He does. I think the team needs a little bit of nasty as well. So that might help. Even though we all know Richie Incognito's a ticking time bomb, but at the same time, if he's on his A game and his head is right, he could be a hell of a player. In 2017, he was an absolute animal for the Buffalo Bills. He was really, really good. He was a Pro Bowler that year. If you can get Richie Incognito 2017 for him, then the Raiders got something. They basically got a steal. You just got to hope that that's the guy that you get.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, last question I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to ask you our little fun question, and then I'll let you go. On defense, we do have a little bit more nasty over there. So Vontaze Burfict was signed. I wasn't a big fan. However, when I look at him, when I look at the performance that he's had under Paul Guenther and the experience he has with Paul Guenther's playbook, I'm kind of optimistic about it. So what do you think? What's he going to bring to the table? Is he going to be able to be a Mike linebacker that we need, that we haven't had in forever? Or is he just going to kind of fit in? How do you think he's going to do?
Well, I'm like you. I wasn't a big fan of the signing at all, even when I heard there was rumors. When the minute that Cincinnati let him go, I said, oh, no, he's going to go to the Raiders because of that connection. If you mentioned Paul Guenther and him, I just knew that was going to happen, and I was very adamant then that I did not want him on the team. He ends up signing, and the thing about it is I'm going to support anyone who's wearing the silver and black. That's just what I do. Yeah. If he's wearing the Raiders colors, I'm a support him. But the problem with him is he's just not healthy. He doesn't stay healthy. He misses so many games. I think in his career so far, he's played one full season like once, maybe twice, and it's all due to either injury and he's out or suspensions. So if he's going to be a big-time player for the Raiders, which he has an opportunity to be, I mean, that's something that Paul Guenther said, that he didn't get to run half of his defense last year because he didn't have anybody that understood it. So, I mean, you get that in the first year. Okay, I get it. So he's excited about having Vontaze there because Vontaze could call everything that he wants him to call. He can explain it. He could be that guy that can call it into the rest of the guys. He can be the guy with the green dot on his helmet and be excited about that and know that this guy knows what he's doing. So if more of Paul Guenther's defense can be displayed, I feel a lot better about it. Now, the key is, like I said, he's got to stay healthy. He's got to find a way to get through training camp and preseason without getting banged up. And then, hopefully, he makes it through the season. And then on top of that, you have to hope that he doesn't do anything stupid to get suspended. So there's a lot of hopes. You know what I mean? It's a lot of ifs and buts and maybes and, unfortunately, it's almost like talking about Richie Incognito, because there's a lot of variables that this could be really good if, and this could be really good but. And, you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of – I feel like the Raiders took some chances in the offseason with some of the guys that they brought in. And if they pay off, and it's a big if, then it could be really good. If they don't pay off, then all of a sudden it looks like, oh, these weren't very good signings. Right. So I do believe that Burfict could be a commodity for Paul Guenther in this defense. I think he can help get the linebackers all lined up in the right position, help out the young guys on the defensive line, even help the guys in the secondary, but he's got to be on the field to be able to do that. So my biggest concern with him is not that, he's a bonehead and a knucklehead and does some stupid stuff at times. It's just the fact that he's not on the field available all the time, and that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. I think if anybody can curtail his behavior, it's probably John Gruden.
Exactly. Exactly.
We'll see how that goes. But I do agree. I think that he can be that guy. So we'll see. Yeah. Fingers crossed. It's all about maybes right now. So. Exactly. And the very last question I want to know, because this is kind of what we do. We talk about animals. What's your favorite animal, Q?
Turtles.
Turtles! Oh, I love it.
Turtles.
That's fantastic.
I have a turtle right now. At the house. His name is Lil Homie. And he's well, obviously he's little. And, but he's the best thing ever. Turtles are my go-to when it comes to animals. So, be nice to turtles at all times.
Absolutely. They're sweet little animals. What kind of turtle is he? Is it a box turtle or?
No, he's a red ear slider.
Oh, very nice.
So, what happened is I was talking about turtles and how when I was young, I had a turtle and my dad didn't cure the water when I went to camp or whatever, and I came back and I just had a shell, so my turtle was dead. And I was talking about that on the radio, and then I was talking about I was driving down the highway and there was a big old turtle on a 2-lane highway in my lane, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm about to hit this turtle. And I was really kind of shook about it, but I didn't hit him. But I still think he got hit because it was a 2-lane highway, so I'm sure he got crushed. And so I talked about it so much on the radio that a listener said, hey, I have a little small, it's like about the size of a quarter, turtle that my daughter's not taking care of. Do you want him? And I was like, hell yeah, I want him. So he brought him to the radio station. So now I have this turtle that is no longer the size of a quarter. Now it's it's getting pretty big, but it's cool. I mean, whatever. So like I said, I call him little homie, but he's getting close to being big homie. But yeah, man, I love me some turtles. They are the best. And it's funny because most people, when you say, oh yeah, turtles are really cool, they're like, yeah, right, whatever, it's a turtle. What does it do? It doesn't do anything. But turtles are perfect, and that's part of the reason why they're perfect. They stay in their lane. You know what I mean? You keep them in their tank. They whatever they do is their business in that tank. They don't give you no surprises on your couch. They don't give you no surprises on your carpet. They don't. You know what I mean? Like they just don't. Yeah. So you feed him every day. He minds his business. I mind mine. I clean out his tank when I need to, and we're good to go. But we all stay in our own lane. So that's another reason why I like him so much.
It's a good low maintenance, happy little pet. Yeah.
And don't they very low maintenance? Yes.
Exactly. And don't they start recognizing their owners? Like they'll come up and they see you and they'll pay attention to you.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And I didn't know that at first, but the wife has them trained pretty well now, where she'll start talking to him and she'll hang a little shrimp in front of him, and he'll play. I think he likes her more than he likes me, but it's cool. I mean, it is what it is. I clean his tank, so he should appreciate me. But he's really a big fan of the wife because she always goes and talks to him, and she has conversations with him, and
Hey.
You know how women do. Women got to have conversations with everybody.
We got to talk. We're talkers. That's what we do.
That's right. Exactly.
All right, Q. Well, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Can you tell us where we can find you online?
Absolutely. You can always get me on Twitter at yourboyq254. That's at yourboyq254. I'm on Facebook, but I'm really not. I don't really do Facebook. I just kind of have it because it's there. So Twitter's the way to hit me. Like I said, at yourboyq254. And I put out my podcast every day. And I always tweet out a link of it as well, so you can always find it if you're looking for it. You can find it there.
Yeah,
so
we always try to make sure to retweet your links too, because we enjoy the.
There you go.
Show.
Appreciate
Definitely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here. We are huge fans of your show, and congratulations on the success of it. By the way, I hear that you had over 100,000 downloads last month. Is that right?
Yeah, in the month of May, we had 120,000 downloads. It's ridiculous. I never thought it would be that way. And it's funny. You know what's funny? And I'm not trying to take more of your time, but you know what's funny is that seriously, I just grew up as a kid that just liked the Raiders, and I was a big Raider fan, and I always felt, even when they were good, that there was never enough people talking about the Raiders. I'd get so frustrated by watching like Sports Center or whatever, and I'm thinking, why are the Raiders the last team to always be talked about? And the highlight goes by like that. It's so quick. And so it used to make me so mad, and I never knew what I was going to do about it. But then all of a sudden I got an opportunity to do a podcast, and then I got another opportunity to do another podcast, and now there's a bunch of podcasts, which are great because the more the better. I mean, now you get all the Raider talk you want, which is awesome, but it's just funny that I used to complain about not enough Raider talk. Now all of a sudden I'm doing podcasts where it's like 120,000 downloads in a month about the Raiders. Like, are you kidding me? So it's like it comes full circle. It's pretty cool. So Raider Nation is awesome. It's the best fan base. I say it all the time, not only in football but in sports. It just doesn't get any better. So that's a testament to it right there. 120,000+ downloads in 1 month in May in the off season.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yep.
So, well, congratulations on that. Obviously, you were not the only one who believed there should be more Raider talk, so that's good.
Right.
You were just a pioneer. Good job.
Yep.
Living the dream.
Exactly.
All right, Q. Thank you so much. We will make sure to continue retweeting and sharing all your stuff because I really enjoy it. It's I really enjoy the fact that you're not really super biased. I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, we can be biased as fans, but be objective, So
yeah, exactly.
That's one of the things we really like about you. So, all right, Q.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. You guys keep doing what you're doing, and I'll definitely show you guys the love and retweet and everything, all that too. So it's all good.
Much appreciated, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you again to your boy Q from the Locked On Raiders podcast. And see, I told you the turtles tie right in there. See? You see that happen? Yeah. Are you guys ignoring me or what? What the hell?
What? Sorry, what'd you say?
You guys suck. I said, do you see how the turtles tie right in?
Yes.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And now it is time for a new episode of The Heidi Game with Miss Heidi Stabbert. Heidi!
Hello.
Hi.
How have you been these many weeks that we haven't spoken to anybody in the world?
I've missed you guys.
I've missed you too.
We've missed you too.
I've been like in a serious depression, not being here.
Aww.
Yeah. We're going to avoid depressions from now on if we can. Moving on.
Heidi sent me this amazing picture for my birthday of Derek Carr. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. It says, "Happy birthday, Jenny," with Derek Carr holding up his touchdown. And it says, "Thanks for being an awesome friend. I hope this next year is amazing for you."
Look at that.
And it cheers me up when I'm having a bad day.
That's
Aww.
awesome.
Thank you, Heidi.
You're welcome. I just didn't want to spend like $3 on a card, so I decided to make that for you.
Those are
Well,
much
more
more
personal too.
Yeah, exactly.
It means way more.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't put what you think on a card. You can just find somebody else's thoughts and say, I guess this fits.
I figured a picture of Derek Carr would be better than any card could ever be.
Yes, that's true.
You know your
I
audience.
agree. Yes.
You very much do. So what do we have this week on the Heidi Game?
Oh, we have a lot of stuff.
Oh, we have so many things in this episode. It's been crazy.
I'm excited to hear what you guys did.
We talked a lot about nonsense, and there's a lot of things you might need to edit out.
Gobbledygook.
And
That's
stuff.
cool.
And a little bit of football mixed in there.
We did have
That's
some
good.
football mixed in there, yes.
Our listeners do like football.
They do.
Yep.
That was the only thing we had requested.
Yeah.
The only thing. Just football. Just talk about football. That's usually on the menu, just so you guys always know it's always on the menu.
No one wanted to hear our life stories or anything?
I guess not. Jeez.
Lame.
Rude. All right, anyways. All right, let's get to the Heidi game.
Like, really interested in being part of this broadcast.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Patches.
She's just really interested in sitting on me.
Just needs attention. That's okay. It's not like Jenny's cat's butthole hasn't showed up on the picture before. It's not like my cats,
both my cats are
don't walk in
soundly
here and like, meow! Anyways, moving on.
Okay. Yeah, anyways, Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks.
That is going to be something very interesting to watch this preseason.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders were selected to be the focus of the show for the first time ever.
Shockingly, because we've sucked for a long time.
Yeah. And I don't know, I guess they kind of figured there were a lot of things going on with the Raiders that made it very interesting.
Couldn't imagine why.
Me neither. Okay, Patches, you need to go. There you go. I'll pet you in 10 minutes.
They don't know what 10 minutes is.
They certainly are persistent.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing. I will be honest and say I have never watched Hard Knocks. I've always kind of thought the idea was sort of boring because I just like to watch the games. But I'm
boring.
Definitely not going to miss my chance to watch John Gruden and company take on the preseason.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And knocks it up.
Yeah, and get themselves knocked up.
Yep. And
That's
get
worse
burnt.
than yours, Jenny.
But yeah, it's an interesting show. I've actually looked into it quite a bit. It's going to run for 5 episodes. It's starting on August 6th on HBO. And I will be ordering HBO probably the 5th or the 6th so I can watch it.
Just in time.
I'm just going to stream it for, 2 months. I figure that HBO has a lot of documentaries on it, so I can get, a lot of viewing done in 2 months.
You can get your money's worth out of that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So $30, for 2 months. A lot of documentaries, Hard Knocks. That should cover it. But a lot of people were hesitant on us being selected for Hard Knocks because it kind of has the reputation that of the team that is focused on ends up having a horrible year.
Uh-oh.
And, yeah.
And how accurate is that?
It is partially accurate.
Do you have percentages and spreadsheets and shit, Heidi?
I do have a spreadsheet.
Drafts?
I did not actually calculate any percentages.
Well, come on then.
I will tell you that the last time a team that was featured on there made the playoffs was in 2015. That was the Texans.
That wasn't really all that long ago.
Yeah, they lost in the wild card round. And then in 2013, the Bengals were 11-5 actually. And they also lost in the wild card round. And in 2010, the Jets were featured. They also were 11-5, and they lost in the AFC Championship. So just because your team is featured isn't a guarantee that it's going to be a sucky year. It just happens to be that the teams that qualify to be on Hard Knocks usually are sucky teams to begin with.
Right. So they have a little bit of an uphill battle to start with.
Exactly.
And that's not saying that a lot of the teams don't come out with winning records afterwards. It's just saying that those few actually went to the playoffs. But if I'm correct, if I'm remembering correctly, about 50% of the teams that actually go on Hard Knocks do improve their records to a winning record after the season.
Those are the stats I was looking for.
Yeah, and last year the Cleveland Browns were featured, and they had what I think for them was a really good year.
It was huge.
It was amazing.
They were 7-8-1. And considering that Hugh Jackson had led them to like one victory over the previous 3 years or whatever, I thought that was a huge improvement.
That's a huge jump, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's interesting the way that they film the episodes. They actually film them. The show is broadcast on Tuesday night. They actually do their filming up until Monday night.
Wow, that's a lot of editing.
Yes, and they shoot about 40 hours worth of footage each day.
What?
They have 40 hours worth of footage each day, yes.
There's only 24 hours in a day, my dear.
I'm assuming that they're like doing
they have
different
multiple crews.
different storylines.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they have a total of about 120 people working on the show and 30 producers. So August 6th, be ready to catch HBO Hard Knocks featuring the Raiders.
You'd think with that many people on staff and crew, they'd do a little bit better job, but that's just me. I haven't been impressed.
I know you like the All or Nothing, right?
Yes, I actually was a big fan of All or Nothing. I enjoyed it.
This year, is it the Panthers they're doing?
Yep, the Panthers are featured. Last year it was the Cowboys. Year before that it was somebody else, and then a couple years ago it was Arizona. That's the one that I caught that I really enjoyed. I like the production value. I like the way that they organized things. I like the storylines they followed. It was interesting.
Well, I think that All or Nothing has kind of a more natural position to be interesting because it takes place during the season.
Yeah.
And so you have you're not just watching, training
Rookies
camp
battle it out and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So.
All right, so I guess we're all gonna tune in for Hard Knocks. Good job, HBO, for getting a whole bunch of new fans for a couple weeks.
2 months. 2 months.
2 months.
2 months. But what's interesting about Hard Knocks is they usually focus on certain storylines.
Yeah.
And they kind of pick the storylines that they're going to focus on like the first week, and then try to follow them throughout the season that it airs. And there are a couple guys I would really like to see them focus on. One of them is, I think I've mentioned him before, even last year, Darren Waller, our tight end. Mm-hmm. He's kind of become the heir apparent person taking over the receiving tight end role since Jared Cook isn't here. He is...
Did you hear Jenny whimper?
Yeah, I did. That was really sad. So he's 26 years old. He's out of Georgia Tech. Interesting piece of info is he is the great-grandson of Fats Waller, jazz legend.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
I love those little tidbits.
Yeah, he was drafted in 2015 in the 6th round, and he's a converted wide receiver. So
because he's a big old boy.
Right. He's 6'6", 255 pounds.
Yeah.
So he's still working on learning how to be a tight end, developing his blocking skills and stuff. But he is an excellent receiver. He has good hands. It's just his stats aren't overwhelming because he hasn't been playing much.
Yeah, he's had a little bit of trouble off the field.
Because he has been suspended for substance abuse. He was suspended for 4 games in 2016, and he was suspended all of 2017. When he was suspended in 2017, he was actually finally able to start turning his life around. He went to a 4-day detox and then a 30-day inpatient stay at a facility in Maine. Started going to NA meetings and got a job at a grocery store.
Oh, good.
Basically lived just a regular life, going to meetings, working in a grocery store. So the NFL actually reinstated him last summer.
Good.
And He was able to make it onto the Baltimore Ravens practice squad, which was where we snatched him from later on in the year.
Nice.
I remember him playing, not a whole lot, but I remember seeing glimpses. I was impressed. I was glad that that he fell into our laps.
Yeah. His stats with us last year, 6 receptions for 75 yards, but some of those touches he had were really electrifying.
Yeah.
They caught your attention right away.
I can see why he was drafted.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous that it seems like we're putting all our eggs in a basket with a guy that he's got issues.
We got a lot of players with issues, so let's just...
Yeah.
We might be holding some, like, team NA meetings or something.
That could be a very good thing.
Yeah.
Along with the team Bible study, of course.
Why not?
Yeah, so I'm kind of nervous, that so much is riding on his shoulders. If you know anything about addictions, it's when things are going good and you get a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders, that's one of the weakest times you can have. Mm-hmm. And I speak from my own experience by saying that. So
well, thank you.
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
a good guy. So I'm kind of hoping that they focus on him for Hard Knocks. It'd be a really good story. The other guy that I'd really like to see them focus on is somebody who has already been a TV star. Ronald Ollie, defensive tackle. He was on the Netflix series Last Chance U.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a program that documents the football program for East Mississippi Community College, and that is kind of like a program, kind of reminds me of the older Raiders, that takes people that have talent but are on their last chance, and tries to restore them to the point where they can start going to Division I school again and possibly get to the NFL.
Cool.
But he ended up there out of high school. He had grown up in a very poor area of Mississippi, and he had faced a lot of obstacles growing up. When he was 5 years old, his father killed his mother in a murder-suicide.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so he grew up with no parents, and he not only was his family life very difficult, he struggled academically, which is what limited his options to go to a Division I school. So he ended up going to East Mississippi Community College, starred just a fan favorite on Last Chance U, and from there he moved on to a small Division I school. And even when he went there, Nicholls State University, he ended up having to take a year off in between his junior and senior year to just kind of refocus himself physically, to grow up and mature mentally, and get to a place where he could actually possibly become a professional football player. I'm thinking he did not go to the combine, and he was not drafted. He signed as an undrafted free agent, and it wasn't one of the initial signings for an undrafted free agent. It actually wasn't signed until after he was invited for a rookie minicamp tryout.
Right.
So the odds for him making it are pretty long.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that just has an incredible story and might be one that Hard Knocks kind of picks up and focuses on. So his fans will see his progress and where he's headed now.
It sounds to me like a guy that's been through that much and has taken that much time in his life to dedicate to himself, in addition to improving his life to be a better adult, he doesn't sound like you could go wrong with him. If his football skills are there or developable, is that a word? I don't know. If you can develop
it is now.
Sure, yeah. We have our own dictionary here. Why wouldn't you take a chance on him? Those are the kind of guys, that's the cloth that Mike Mayock wants his rookies cut from.
Right.
So maybe he's got a shot.
Yeah, and so he might, be a good candidate for the practice squad.
Absolutely.
But he's just, he's got a fascinating story. Seems like a really good kid. Just been through an awful lot.
Yeah. Well, we can relate. All of us. We've been through a little bit. So
what do you mean? My life's been perfect.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You are Mother Teresa. We do tell people that because, you're a saint. You put up with our bullshit all the time. Moving on. So what else you got, Heidi?
Those were really the main things that I wanted to hit on with Hard Knocks and the people that I'm really interested on. I've already mentioned before Keelan Doss. I would love to see him on Hard Knocks. A local boy from Alameda, out of UC Davis. He has a hardship story too. When he was in high school, I believe his family's home burned down. So we just have all of these players with fascinating stories.
Yeah.
I don't know how these producers from Hard Knocks are going to be able to narrow it down.
Well, based on just what I saw with the Browns Hard Knocks, they had 5 or 6 different storylines that they kind of followed. So we've got some options. You know that they're going to follow Antonio Brown a little bit. And they're going to focus a lot on the bad boys. So we'll see. But I think those are 3 guys that are kind of guaranteed a spot. So the other few are going to be those guys that are like the tertiary kind of on the bubble positions. So
yeah, and I think that they kind of like to focus on the fringe players.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. That's what I took from it too. They do focus on a star or two, one of the draws, but then they kind of take a look at some of the other guys that are on the bubble and how their progression goes.
Right.
So yeah. So overall, we're all excited about Hard Knocks.
You're right. I am excited about Hard Knocks. I was dead set against it, but now that I know more about it, I watched the interview or heard an interview with the showrunner Ken Rogers, where he explained so much of how they do it and what their selection process is. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see our guys on the field. That's what I'm excited about.
Yes.
So what else is up on the Heidi game this week?
Not much. Did you guys cover... Oh, I had a work meeting today. 3.5-hour work meetings are so much fun. Don't you know it?
I think Jenny probably knows it better than I do.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was checking Twitter after I got home, and it seems now the story that they're trying to make waves with is Josh Jacobs. Yeah. Not signing his contract yet.
Give me a break. Give the man some peace.
Yeah, it's all clickbait. I'm not worried about him signing. He's a first round pick. The amount of money that he gets, he's in a already an established slot.
It's a disgusting amount of money to begin with.
Yes, but it's already predetermined.
Yeah.
What they're working on in his contract is probably offset language and the payout of his signing bonus.
Right.
I know that I had heard an interview a few weeks back where he himself said that he was trying to defer his signing bonus until we got to Nevada.
Oh.
Because of the
understandably
state taxes. So I think that some of it has to do with that.
Well, and he also did come out on Twitter earlier this week saying, don't ask him about it or he'll block you.
Yeah.
So we're not asking Josh. We trust you, bro. We trust you.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
No.
It's just the that seemed to be the story of the weekend.
Right.
That hopefully will end up being nothing.
Yeah, well, here's hoping. I'm sure we're going to be all fine. I think it's going to be good. We got 3 first-rounders for a reason. It wasn't so that we couldn't sign them. So, money's coming, don't worry.
We have every single draft pick signed except for him. We have every single, free agent signed except for him.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, still have a few weeks to go before training camp even starts.
Yep.
And
That's
it's
plenty of
one
time.
person. Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Exactly.
All right, Heidi. Well, thank you as always for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, we're so glad we can actually be on the air.
I have missed you guys so much.
We have missed all of us. We're just missed.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like arrogant or
Miss
anything.
you.
I miss all of you. I miss us.
Yes.
But, sometimes things have to happen. So, it is what it is.
But we're back,
But
baby.
we're back.
The
Damn
bitches
right.
are back.
That's right. The baddest bitches. Anyways. All right. As always, Heidi, thank you. That was another amazing version of the Heidi game.
All right. I'll see you guys next time.
Soon. And now that we're finished with the Heidi game, it's time for our lady killer.
Who's that lady killer?
So, the Raiders' new wide receiver, not sure if you've heard of him. His name is Antonio Brown.
That sounds familiar.
Just a smidge.
Hey, yeah.
He returned to his roots a few weeks ago and visited his old college, the Central Michigan University Chippewas.
Woo, go Chippewas.
Yeah.
That seemed like what I should say there anyways.
What?
I said it seemed like what I should say there. Go Chippewas.
Yeah. Whatever.
Thank you for Antonio Brown. Anyways, Jenny, back to you.
Okay. It was much more than a social visit as he returned to make a generous donation to his old football program, which is awesome. In a place like Michigan, playing football outside can be quite chilling in the winter, which I would understand being from Minnesota.
I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah.
I can also relate.
Yes. AB wanted to make sure the entire team would stay warmed up and ready to go, no matter what the wind chill might be. He donated heated dragon benches to keep the entire team warm. These are the same benches one might find on an NFL sideline, so that's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
He said, and I quote, "These benches really help me stay loose and ready to perform no matter the conditions, and I am excited to see how they help current and future Chippewas succeed. CMU will always be a special place for me, and I am happy to be able to give back." Did I sound like Antonio Brown when I said that?
You sounded just like him. I really had to do a double take.
Yeah, for real. The Ladies of Darkness recognize this generous move by Brown and feel that he would be the perfect example of a lady killer.
Absolutely.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
You rock. And I'm guessing this is just the first time of many that we'll see Mr. Brown on the lady killer list.
Oh, I sure hope so.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Since our lady killer from last year is gone. He gun killed his last lady.
His last silver and black lady. I'm sure he's
Yeah.
going to be killing some Saints ladies pretty soon.
Lame.
I know. And now it's time for Seriously, Bro.
You know, we all have our moments. Some of them earn a place on our wall of shame. Seriously, bro.
This week on Seriously, Bro, Antonio Brown skipped the first day of OTAs and got raked over the coals for it. Now, why? No idea. Not coincidentally, it was a media access day that he skipped. Shocker. But you know what? They skip OTAs every single year. But he came back day 2 and he finished it out. And then he's been on Twitter every friggin' day since then. Doing what? Tweeting? No. exercising.
Yes.
Working out.
Constantly exercising. Have you seen his muscles?
Oh my God, he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's like that example of man that, what's his name, drew? Michelangelo?
Sure.
The flappy guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways. Give Antonio Brown a break. Y'all got to get off his nuts. Seriously, bro.
Seriously, bro. Get over it.
Time to move on. Bye, Felicia. He don't want you no more. He found himself a new girl, and we love him.
Mm-hmm.
You're damn right. So, seriously, bro.
Seriously, bro, cut it out. Everyone skips OTAs, and everyone talks about it every year and makes a big deal out of it. And you know what? It's not a big deal.
It's really not.
Except for when it was Khalil Mack.
Yeah. Well, that was a little different situation. But he skipped all of them. So everything up to and including day one of practice. Day one of preseason. Yeah.
Seriously, bro.
Seriously, bro. Leave Antonio Brown alone. Leave Brittany alone. Anyways, moving on. We were going to do some Tyreek Hill crap, but we decided, you know what? We already touched on that. He don't need no more attention. Seriously, bro. Stop giving him attention. That's probably why he does this shit.
For real. Seriously,
real.
bro.
If he doesn't get at least 4 games, I'm going to be mad. But it's enough already.
For real. In other news, O.J. Simpson has a Twitter account. And we are dying to keep track of it.
Oh
just
my
because
gosh.
of the hilarity of it.
It's, you know what it is? We were actually talking about this, and we're still seriously considering doing a tweet of the day, an OJ tweet of the day, or tweet of the week, because of the comments. It's just all the comments.
The comments are the best part.
Oh my gosh. Dan, the Dan Triloquist, I guess is his Twitter name, but he is DC4L Custom Tees. He shared the first tweet, and he said, I guess OJ's finally tried or decided to take a stab at social media. Let's see if he can cut it. It's
Some
you know
people
what?
are all mad about it.
Oh God, I know, and I understand. I get it. We're glorifying this guy who got away with a double murder, and it's really bad. But at this point, all you can do is laugh. He's trying to be serious. Nobody takes you seriously, bro.
For real.
Really, nobody. I did see some people asking him online, like, who would you pick for your fantasy football team?
Is that what they sound like?
I'm doing a direct impression. That's exactly what they sound like.
Beautiful. Who would you pick for your final fantasy team?
Those are different guys.
And his answer is me.
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 What would you name your fantasy football team?
Oh my gosh.
The Real Killers. That would be my choice. That would.
The
anyways.
Lady and Man Killer. Lady Killer.
Moving on. This is going to be too much fun. Oh Lord, Lord have mercy. So
well, I think that's all we have this week. Do you have anything else you'd like to say before we close this out?
I think we have said a really lot.
I think we really have. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening to us on Ladies of Darkness, a Crow's Nest Podcast Network production. If you're interested in donating some money to keep the ladies in the dark, please do so. Our PayPal link will be up on all of our social media accounts.
And coming soon, which we will start, I promise, we will start this very soon, our tight end thirst list.
I know who my number one is.
Okay, don't tell us. You can't tell us
I
yet.
won't.
All right, cool. Tune in. This is going to be our annual objectification of the men, because why not? It's our show, and we can do that.
Yep.
And we love to objectify those men that wear the pants that we love so much. They don't call them tight ends for nothing. Please consider giving us a call. As we've mentioned a million times before, we love your voicemails. We love to hear from you. You can always tweet us. You can always Facebook us. We're here for you, bro. We're here for you. 802-328-1867. And keep an eye out on our social media pages for upcoming events, giveaways, etc., etc. And always drop us your ideas. Tell us how you want your free shit. We already discussed this. Tell us how you want your free shit. And make sure you can get yourself in on the action. So for me, for Jenny, for Heidi, for all of us, thank you for joining us on Just Win Ladies.
And go ladies.